Welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your Monday Night Raw and Superstars spoilers for this week. And here we go. Well, first, as normal, I always do some brief news. WWE DVD News reports that there will be 3 WrestleMania 29 DVD editions for the Australian market, a 3-disc collector's edition, a 2-disc set, and a limited edition version. There will be also a Blu-ray, no word yet if the same versions will be available for other countries. As Dolph Ziggler's WWE download will be ending soon. Ziggler revealed on Twitter that the show is ending because WWE's number 1-year contract with YouTube is up. So I guess at the end of the network is up as well. WWE likely will be renewing that contract with new shows that they polled fans on over the weekend. Ziggler tweeted about his finale. Hashtag Axe the Heel is over. Writing the last download. Shooting tomorrow, which is now today. It airs next week. Roasting at WWE. Regarding the potential YouTube shows, WWE polled the fans on. They posted earlier from PW Insider reported that every single one of the ideas had been already discussed for potential WWE Network shows. Recently released NXT diva Skylar Moon changed her Twitter handle back to Buggy Nova III and acknowledged her release from the company. Quote, WWE did nothing but good for me. They gave me another chance at life by sending me to rehab. For that, I am forever grateful. Former WWE superstar Edge addressed a couple of questions on Twitter regarding his future in the WWE as he was thinking of returning. And the doctor said, not clearing him. When a fan asked if he would return to WWE if medically cleared, Edge responded, they won't. When asked if he would work for WWE behind the scenes, Edge replied, after 20 years on the road, I prefer home for now. Former WWE Scotty 2 Hotty star Scotty 2 Hotty will be competing for No Limit Wrestling this Sunday in Ireland at the Moat Theatre in Nos Company, Kildare. Doors open at 5:30 and the show starts at 6 p.m. Give us a WORM for us all. Former WWE Champion JBL apologized to Bully Ray and Devon for including them in a list of tag teams that were not as successful as singles wrestler. Sometimes on air you try to go somewhere entertaining and you get caught up and try to correct it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I realized as soon as I said it that both the Dudleys and Hart Foundation had become huge single stars. Quote, I was thinking about my time in WWE where Dudleys had been mainly just a tag team and one of the greatest of all time and what I think was the greatest era of tag team in history when you had Edge, Christian, NAO, DX, that's New Age Outlaws, DX, the Dudleys, APA, LOD, Legion of Doom, the Road Warriors, oh, what a rush, the Hardys, and more all at the same time. And he goes on by saying, Bubba and Devon had been good friends for a long time, and I have the utmost respect for and love for them. If I had to make a mistake on someone else, I would just chalk it up to live TV and not worry about it. But these guys are good friends, and with the Twitter police loving to correct me, all I thought was I would just go make it public and explain what happened. Read the rest of the blog on Facebook.com/pages/John-Slayfield /1941762535533. Bully Ray did respond on Twitter by saying no apology was needed and that he was noting but nothing but respect for JBL, or noting but respect. Devon has yet to address it. Let the speculation be being that he's seething and will never speak to JBL again. Okay, I doubt that's actually going to happen, or actually the case. Former WWE Diva Maryse turned 30 years old. She was born January 21st, 1983. At last check, she was still dating The Miz. WWE Hall of Famer Ivan Putski, a.k.a. Jozef Bednarski, is 72 years old today. He was born January 21st, 1941. Just a little spoiler. They had a future star, a possible TNA upcoming, will also be competing in TEW, the company that I will be, that I have had a Royal Rumble match myself, and a triple threat turned into a fatal four-way match over the weekend. And you can see the results on that on the online show on YouTube.com. Also, look for it on your TEWrestling.vze.com. Hopefully it's uploaded. Everybody can view. Give us a shout out there if you're on YouTube. Give us your comments. Only we can strive with y'all's comments, good or bad. I know it was only a short match, but that's how the storyline wrote. Okay, back to the spoiler. No, it's not any kin, but Scott Murdoch. Don't know if he's any kin to Dick Murdoch or Trevor Murdoch from WWEF fame, but he is from Bossier High School and will be making his debut in TEW very soon. I don't know where he's going to be. More power to you, Scott. And welcome to the show. The late Arnold Skaaland was born on this day, on yesterday, and Hall of Famer died on March 13th, 2007. His wife Betty continues to attend WWE events occasionally. Independent wrestler Alex Koslov, a.k.a. Alex Sherman, turned 29 years old yesterday. He was born January 21st, 1984. The creator of the Royal Rumble match, Pat Patterson, celebrated his 72nd birthday on Saturday. He was born January 19th, 1941. The Hall of Famer continues to work behind the scenes for WWE on a part-time basis. R-Truth also celebrated a birthday. He turned 41 on Saturday. He was born January 19th, 1972. Hall of Famer Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man, everybody's got a price, celebrated his 59th on Friday. He was born January 18th, 1954. What everybody's been waiting for now was your dark match results from Raw, and also from the spoilers from Superstars. The Usos defeated Primetime Players. Primetime Players were on Facebook and Twitter and stating that they were headed to the ring and in action for Monday Raw. The Usos won with a Superfly Splash. And you got one match taped for Superstars. Kofi Kingston defeated JTG. Kingston won with a Trouble in Paradise in about a 4-minute, 40-second match. Raw live on the USA Network. Live from San Jose, California at the HP Pavilion. Show opened up with the annual Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. tribute video. It concluded with a graphic that read, "Long live the dream." Michael Koslov introduced the show briefly. Miss Piggy Guerrero chimed in with, "Excuse me." She walked arm in arm with Paul Heyman onto the stage and down the ramp. What she got? Another boyfriend? The Walrus and the Pig. Miss Piggy said, doing the right thing isn't always the same as doing the popular thing, especially when it comes to The Rock. Heyman introduced himself. Crowd boos, of course. Vicky smiled and Dolph clapped for him. Heyman said he was with Vicky as a show of unity and solidarity. Heyman chimes in and says The Rock defamed the character of Vicky and himself on last week's show. Heyman said Vicky was at best the sexiest general manager of this show and any other television show as well. Vicky introduced footage to show everybody the atrocious Rock's behavior was. Heyman didn't want to see it. Footage aired of The Rock singing that Heyman hasn't seen his penis in years. Back live, Heyman said it's one thing to pick a fight with him because The Rock has to answer to CM Punk in 6 days. But to pick a fight with a poor, defenseless widow like Vicky is vile and contemptible. Heyman had the footage of The Rock singing to Vicky last week. I was surprised to hear Heyman refer to Vicky as a widow. That's something that never seems to come up with her character. After all, she was the wife of Eddie Guerrero. Heyman consoled a flustered Vicky, then said Rock won't be doing that again this week. She said that while The Rock is in San Jose, he has officially been banned from entering her arena. She said if he enters the building, he will be arrested by the San Jose police, none other than the Indie Fed wrestlers. A crew member approached Vicky to tell her that The Rock has arrived. You know they wouldn't leave people thinking The Rock would not appear for very long. The Rock was then shown backstage with a trio of indie wrestlers in bad cop suits. And every time The Rock would say something, they were actually laughing. They all thought it was funny. He said, San Jose's finest. The Rock told him that he knows that they have a job to do, but nothing is going to stop them from electrifying the people tonight. One of the cops apologized and said that they would have to arrest him if he entered the arena. Rock said the cops should arrest Punk. He said Punk is like Manti T, or only he doesn't have an imaginary girlfriend. He has an imaginary nutsack. I wonder if that was trending worldwide on anything last night. Rock said Heyman should be arrested for not wearing a bra. Rock told the cops that he asked Vicky to what her intestines looked like because if she thought he wouldn't appear in front of the people, she must have her head up her ass. Rock then said, it's not a question of it. It's a matter of when he appears in front of the people. Vicky said if The Rock enters her arena, the only thing that he'll be singing is Jailhouse Rock. Heyman told the crowd that was clever. If you smell what Vicky is cooking, he tried to comment. And Vicky closed with, excuse me. That's not funny. At ringside, Koslov and Jerry Lawler spoke, as they were the only ring announcers. Calling Vicky Guerrero has decreed that there will be a beat the clock challenge. He said 6 superstars will compete, and the person with the fastest time will choose what number he enters the Rumble on Sunday. They also hyped Randy Orton versus Antonio Cesaro. Commercial break. Another rematch with Cesaro and Orton. I assume that they're having 6 matches with 6 wrestlers. Wow. Who would have a shot at winning? And 6 who are just along for the ride. I'm never big on that aspect of the Beat the Clock challenge anyways. So hopefully it's 3 matches with all 6 wrestlers having the same opportunity. Rock was too over the top in that segment. Rock is normally cooler than everyone else. Yelling about the silly banishment was a little odd. Koslov hyped that John Cena would address the WWE fans about the Royal Rumble match. Finally, you get the first match. Antonio Cesaro versus Randy Orton in a Beat the Clock challenge. Koslov said if both wrestlers will be trying to win the match as quickly as possible. Nice. Cesaro applied his usual headlock despite the match stipulation. Orton escaped the hold and was getting the better of Cesaro, hitting into a break. It's nice to see that wrestler in the Beat the Clock challenge are all trying to win the match as quickly as possible. However, Orton and Cesaro must have missed the memo. There was no sense of urgency prior to the break. It felt like a standard match. After the break, the action was more intense, and as Cesaro shoved Orton off the top rope and then went to ringside quickly to get him back in the ring. Lawler noted that the sense of urgency had picked up as Cesaro went for a second and then a third cover that Orton kicked out of. Cesaro locked in a chin lock, and Lawler said he disagreed with the strategy considering the nature of the match. Orton came back and went for the hanging DDT, draping DDT. But Cesaro avoided it and got a 2 count of his own. Cesaro threw Orton into the air and caught him with an awesome uppercut for a good near fall. Cesaro then ran Orton through the ropes and into the ring post. They ended up at ringside. Cesaro rolled Orton back inside the ring. When Cesaro returned, Orton dropped him with an RKO and got the pinfall. 11 minutes 30 seconds for that match. So that sets the long Beat the Clock challenge. It was refreshing to hear Lawler do more than giggle and tell jokes. He actually acknowledged that the flawed logic and talked about the strategy of the match. I don't know if he came up with that on his own or if he was fed through the headsets from Vince McMahon himself. But I hope we hear more of that from the King either way. He was also quick to soften the blow for Cesaro losing by saying that he simply took his eye off Orton for 3 seconds and it cost him. And also then set up the Hall of Fame video for Mick Foley that included numerous career highlights and closed with The Rock telling he's a Hall of Famer last week. A video showcased the Shield and featured camcorder footage of them talking. It concluded with the words, "Believe in the Shield. We're just getting started." As they go to commercial break. It's nice to see something from the Shield. I still feel the sit-down interview they did was much more effective than the camcorder-style promos. The graphic touted WWE's followers on Facebook and noted that John Cena led the way. Match number 2. Big Show versus Zack Ryder. Everybody knows what this match is going to be. Quick and painful. Highlights aired of Alberto Del Rio's title win. Brad Maddox hopped the guard well and sat in on commentary. "Hi guys," Maddox said. And that's not Brad Cougar from TEW. That looked alike. Lawler told him not to scare him like that because he has a heart condition. Koslov pointed out that Maddox doesn't work for the company, and he was escorted out when he did this on Main Event. And Show finished off Ryder with a knockout punch. Show knelt on Ryder to pin him. Maddox said he had a few other job opportunities he needed to check out. He left the same way he arrived. He took the mic and said he wanted to give fans a preview of his last man standing match. He put his foot on Ryder and counted to 5. Then he got pissed at the crowd and said he's not playing around. Big Show defeated Zack Ryder in 45 seconds. The announcers then hyped Ryback versus Heath Slater for after the break. Good use of Maddox in that everyone in the world knew the outcome of the Show versus Ryder match. Yet the added commotion of Maddox forcing his way onto commentary kept things interesting. Meanwhile, backstage, Heyman was on the telephone telling someone that there was no way Rock was getting inside the building. He was interrupted by Brad Maddox and his cameraman. Maddox hung up the phone and said that just like a young Heyman, there's nothing he won't do to keep his dream alive. Heyman said he admires Maddox's ambition and respects his initiative. Heyman then said he's big enough to a big enough man to admit when he's wrong. He told Heyman to stick with him, and he'd make his dreams come true. Heyman shook his hand, and they mugged for a camera shot with Maddox. Heyman got back on the phone after Maddox left. Interesting development. I assume Heyman is setting up Maddox for a disaster, but I'm curious to see where it goes. He probably could have been talking to Brock Lesnar as well. Setting up his whole faction. Punk, Maddox, and Punk. PMP. Let's see. Brock. Let's say BMP. Bump. Match number 3. Ryback versus Heath Slater with Jinder Mahal and Drew McIntyre. Ryback hit a spine buster and then a meat hook clothesline. He followed up with a clothesline on McIntyre on the ring apron and then dragged Mahal into the ring and threw him at McIntyre. Ryback shell-shocked Slater for the pin. And that match took 1:15 seconds. After the match, Ryback took the mic and said, "Damn, my job is fun." He noted that Sunday is his first Royal Rumble match. He said it's a match he was made for and a match he will thrive on. He said it will lead him to the main event of WrestleMania. Ryback then started a "Feed Me More" chant. Backstage, Rock told the cops that they've been doing this for an hour and he needs to get to the people. He said he spent their hard-earned dollar to see him. He said that they know what it's like when he comes out. He said it's a lifetime experience. He told them to listen closely at the 15,000 people chanting his name, and the fans as the words start chant, "Rocky, Rocky." One of the cops spoke up and said he had tickets for the show himself. He said his wife and kid was in the arena. Vicky Guerrero entered the picture and wanted Rock arrested. One of the cops said Rock wasn't breaking any laws, and as long as he was in that arena, Vicky said their superior said that they would do what she says or be suspended. Vicky told Rock that CM Punk will be inside the ring addressing the people next. Miss Piggy said that she might have a change of heart if Rock apologizes. Rock said there are 2 problems. One, he's going to get in the ring, in the people's ring tonight on his terms. 2, bitch, you still look horrible tonight. As Vicky stormed off, Rock asked the policeman who they serve, and they said they had no idea. Commercial break. And an ad aired for Raw Roulette for next week. Boring. So we get WWE in Las Vegas next week. So they go back to the roulette gimmick. I'm so happy I don't have to live in a city known for gambling. Well, actually I do. It's Shreveport. On the river. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy gambling. I love Vegas. I also like Shreveport. I don't love it. But I would hate to suffer through a crappy roulette theme every time WWE brings a television show to that city. But we love it here in the Shreveport and the 318. Well, we got CM Punk and Paul Heyman headed to the ring for a promo. Punk said he holds the WWE Championship more dear to his heart than most men hold their families. Punk said that for 428 days he has proven that he is the man. He said it's just a prestigious title WWE has to offer. It's the most prestigious title. And I will not allow The Rock or any man to take that from me, as Punk said. Quote, "The Rock is here to entertain. The Rock is here to electrify. The Rock is here to sing songs and tell jokes. I'm here to hurt people and be the champion." Punk said the title is important and prestigious because he made it that way. Punk said that the most insignificant thing imaginable are the people. He said Rock is almost as proud to be the people's champion as he is to be a real champion. Punk said he was forced to make a choice a long time ago between hypocritical humility and honest arrogance. He said he chose honest arrogance while Rock foolishly chose them. Punk said you can call Rock the Brahma Bull or the Great One, but you can't call him champion. Punk then said he earned the right to be called champion and to be the man. Punk said that in 6 days, this is what The Rock is on a collision course with. Punk told them to enjoy being the people's champion, the cheers and the signs. He then says he wants The Rock to slap every hand and wink at every hopeful look the fans give him. And Punk then said he learned a long time ago that the people does not matter. He said the WWE Championship matters. He said it doesn't matter whether he smells what The Rock is cooking. All that matters is that the people can't give him what will remain around the waist of your undisputed WWE Champion, the best in the world, CM Punk. The announcers then hyped John Cena addressing the fans heading into the Royal Rumble. As they go to commercial, a good, intense, all-out heel promo from the Punk. He didn't play it cool at any point. He went for pure heart, pure heat. Still hoping for another verbal exchange between Rock and Punk. The first one was good, and I hope it's not the only one we get from them. And we get a graphic touted that the Raw was the #1 show on cable television last Monday night. Only on Monday night. Koslov noted that it was Raw episode 1026. Ring entrances for the next match took place. Highlights of aired of Miz TV with Ric Flair and Antonio Cesaro. Lawler and Flair handed over the figure 4 finisher to the Miz. Heck, all I know is they both were putting the move on him. I didn't know he was handing the move as his new finisher. I wish Flair would have given Miz that move where he goes on the top rope. And it's inevitably thrown to the mat 999,999 times out of 1 million. Match number 4, Dolph Ziggler with AJ and Big E Langston versus The Miz in a Beat the Clock challenge. The announcers noted that the time to beat is 11 minutes 36 seconds. Lawler noted that the clock would count down from that point. Miz targeted on Ziggler's knee. The crowd did the obligatory woo when Miz went for the figure 4. Ziggler kicked Miz off. Miz ended up at ringside where Langston roughed him up and threw him back in the ring. Ziggler covered Miz but only got a 2 count before the show went to a commercial break. For the record, I'll vomit if Cena wins the Beat the Clock challenge. Announces he's talking the #1 entry and then goes on to win the Rumble. After the break, Ziggler was in control briefly. Miz came back with a rapid-fire pin attempt. Miz looked at the clock to see 2 minutes 25 seconds remaining. The rapid-fire pin attempt for both men continued. Miz applied the figure 4 horribly. AJ distracted the referee. Langston pulled Ziggler to the ropes, and the ref turned around and forced Miz to break the count. In the end, Ziggler hits the zigzag after the Miz was momentarily distracted by Langston and got the pinfall. Koslov stressed that it was a team effort for Ziggler. And now the Beat the Clock challenge is 10 minutes 56 seconds. Can that last? The new master of the figure 4 should really learn how to apply it. Good Lord. After all, the Ninja Boy, woo, my God, gave it to you. The announcer then spoke about the Royal Rumble Fan Fest event and the panels involving the Montreal Screwjob and DX. And the tickets are on sale, which I believe they're all sold out anyways. They forgot to mention that the WCW panel, they also hyped Kane and Daniel Bryan graduating from their anger management for later on. Well, highlights aired of Dr. Shelby flipping out because Dr. Phil's name was mentioned last week. Pomp and Circumstance played, and Dr. Shelby stood at a podium, set up in the ring, and introduced himself as Dr. Marion Shelby. He welcomed the viewers to the graduation party for Kane and Bryan. They came out and they were dressed in caps and gowns, just as Shelby was. Shelby presented them with diplomas and moved their tassels. Shelby asked them which of the two should be valedictorian and give a speech. Kane wanted it to be Brian. Brian wanted it to be Kane. And we got a guy was on Facebook at the time, and Wade Barrett was commenting, "Oh my God, we got yes, 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 no, no, no." I told him no, that's called the Borgasm. He's never heard that before. He kind of laughed about it. Okay, well, Shelby asked them what if everyone everywhere hugged at the same time. They had a urine valedictorian yelling match between the two. Borgasms again. And everybody started hugging. They pointed out people in the crowd, they started hugging. First up, Koslov and Lawler. They had a big dopey grin and let out an odd chuckle as Lawler gave in and hugged him. Justin Roberts and Dr. Sampson hugged. Lawler said he'd rather hug Sampson before he saved his life. Because he saved his life. They started pointing out fans in the crowd to hug, and fans complied. They called for a group hug. As the three of them hugged in the middle of the ring, and they jumped up and down. Not many fans followed in suit as they got a commercial break. I will not hug the person who made the call to extend Raw to 3 hours. Meanwhile, the sound of pomp and circumstance playing on Raw calls Randy Savage fans to awaken from their annual hibernation period so they could begin sending out 1 billion complaint emails that state, Macho Man, ooh, yeah, should be in the Hall of Fame, ahead of fill in the blank, whomever. Yeah, we get it already. Go hug yourself. Highlights aired of Caitlyn beating Eve to win the Divas Championship last week, and Eve quitting the company as she asked to leave the company on the show. Storyline in real life. She's getting married, folks. She's engaged. Only a few months left. Caitlyn versus Eve. Tamina was shown watching backstage on a monitor. Not very happy. Caitlyn won with a spear. That was from last week in 2 minutes 5 seconds. Caitlyn won with a spear on Alicia Fox this week in 2 minutes and 5 seconds. This was more like a Sheamus a Batista kind of spear, but she actually got more of a shoulder into the spear on poor Alicia Foxy. Yeah, she was on Facebook as well, commenting on stuff on her loss, but she said that it's not over yet. I'm gonna come back. Backstage, Heyman told Punk that he works too hard. He told him he's arranged a luxury box for him to watch as he delivers a personal message from The Rock. He said it's not a pipe bomb, it's a Paul bomb, and it's dedicated to you, my friend. Koslov actually said that stupid shit about Caitlyn's life and had changed since she won the championship. It's only been 1 week, and how he could almost feel her confidence growing. Okay, so he has to say that nonsense. But the only thing about Caitlyn's life that's changed is that she has to carry a butterfly belt through airports, and now the TSA agents will somehow use it to an excuse to rummage through her underwear. After the break, Heyman was in the ring for his buddy for his Paul bomb. He decided he dedicated it to Punk, who was seated alone in the luxury box. Heyman said that the people seemed confused by what Punk said, so he could serve as his interpreter. In other words, I will keep it simple for you, unquote, Heyman said slowly. Heyman then said Vince McMahon is desperate for someone to take the WWE Championship from Punk. He said the flavor of the month is The Rock. He said Rock was singing about him when he should have been thinking about Punk. Just like the people, The Rock is stupid, Heyman said. The Rock's music played. Rock headed Rock headed onto the stage as Cole and Lawler recalled that he was banned from the building. Rock held up a ticket. Isn't this similar to the WrestleMania storyline on the video game? I'm not allowed within 500 feet of One Direction, but you're saying all I need is a ticket, and the restraining order is worthless. Rock thanked the San Jose Police Department. Heyman tried to tell him the ticket doesn't entitle him to being in the ring, but Rock cut him off and called him Twinkie Tits. Rock told him to get his fat ass out of the ring, or Rock would slap the taste right out of his mouth, as Heyman then obliged. Rock turned his attention to Punk, who was still seated in the press box. He noted that Punk has been a champion for 428 days. Rock said it's incredible and historic. He said he knows how badass and tough Punk is, that he's earned the right to call himself the best in the world. Rock said that doesn't change the fact that tonight is the last night on Raw as the WWE champion. Rock said that just as MLK had a dream, Rock has a dream of his own. Punk was shown laughing in a mocking manner. Rock said his dream to be the WWE champion one more time. Rock said every man, woman, and child will be saying, free at last, thank God Almighty, we're free at last. Rock delivered if you smell what the Rock is cooking line. Lights went out, and when the light came back on, the Shield was in the ring beating down the Rock. He fought back, but right before he was getting slammed in this final move with the Rock, he quickly lost the numbers game. Trio performed triple power bomb, but he actually told his cousin Roman Reigns, as because I read his lips, and that was exactly what he was saying. Come on, slam me like the bomb your group is. Punk said that there's only room on the top of the mountain for one man. He said you have to pay the price for your freedom. He said it's cute that The Rock had a dream, but eventually you have to wake up from that dream. Punk said that The Rock will figure out what the truth is, that he wasn't great enough to be the best in the world. Rock was lying on the mat spitting some blood from the capsule that he had in his mouth, while Punk was shown holding up the WWE Championship in the luxury box. A good segment if you can look past the ticket nonsense. The Shield attack was nice. It was a nice touch. I wouldn't worry that it was scare some into ordering the Rumble because they expect Shield interference to spoil the main event. However, the more I think about it, I'd be surprised if that were the case. I'd actually seem it seems like a good thing to make it seem like the deck is stacked against the Rock a bit going into the match. Then we get another MLK video shown. Announcers narrated highlights of the Shield attacking the Rock. Koslov said Rock was able to get to his feet and walk backstage on his own, but later on you'll find out what they claim was happened. Well, Cena is not in the Beat the Clock Challenge match. Thank you, Lord. I would ask why Cena didn't even get a chance to compete, but I really don't care. I even scared myself with that one. Number one scenario. Match number 6. Sheamus versus Wade Barrett in Beat the Clock Challenge match. Koslov noted that this was the final Beat the Clock Challenge match of the evening. Barrett worked over Sheamus' arm and closed him into ringside as they headed into a commercial break. After the break, Barrett continued to work over Sheamus' arm. Lawler noted that the clock was counting down because they might as well just stop wrestling and if the time expires. Well, you got 90 seconds left. Sheamus came back with white noise rather than go for the pin. He looked at the clock and stared at it for about 10 seconds. He backed into the corner and set up for the Brogue Kick. Well, then you got the rundown from Dolph Ziggler, AJ Lee, and Big E Langston. AJ walked through the ring and distracted Sheamus. Barrett caught him with a side slam for a near fall. Sheamus recovered and hit the brogue kick, but time expired before he could go for the cover. And very surprised, Dolph Ziggler just jumping up in the crowd like it's like going back to the from ringside. So you got Sheamus away there fighting to a non-finish and a beat the clock challenge. Announcers hype. Oh, I guess that's announcers hype that Cena's promo for later in the show. Ziggler gets to pick a spot in the Rumble match, assuming it's pick number 30. And he stated that his purpose in the match is to eliminate John Cena. This could be a sign that Cena will still be in the match very late. You can read into that as much as you like. Though I would have assumed going into the show that Cena would be in the Final Four. A graphic noted that WWE has over 40 million followers on its Twitter network, with The Rock leading the way. Backstage segment, Dolph boasted to Vicky that he gets to pick his spot in the Rumble. He kissed AJ in front of Vicky and saying, "You look wonderful tonight," to her. Ziggler picked the number 30 spot. Vicky said she didn't say he got to pick his spot. Rather, he had to choose between number 1 or number 2. So the whole beat the clock challenge was pointless. A time filler. Vicky is still a heel unless she's around Dolph and AJ, right? Backstage segment. Vince McMahon said that, which I missed this segment myself. I guess, yeah, that's because the internet feed went out at this point. Again, it went off like 12, 15 times. A little bit better than last week's 56 times. On Ringside News, where I catch it. Okay, backstage, McMahon said he guesses Punk and Heyman think they are clever. Punk said that they have nothing to do with the Shield. Vince said that there would be severe consequences if the Shield interfered in the title match at the Rumble. Heyman ran through the list of people the Shield has attacked and said that there's no evidence against Punk. Vince said he will strip Punk of the WWE Championship if the Shield interferes. That was their best attempt to tell viewers that there will be a clean finish on Sunday. So Brad Maddox, not Kuza, Brad Kuza Maddox interfered and said, if so, I would suspect Rock to completely destroy him. Wow. Alberto Del Rio with Ricardo Rodriguez versus Tensai in a non-title match. Tensai's your beatdown, buddy. Your jobber. Ricardo Rodriguez brought the Mexican flag bucket to ringside and wore a Mexican flag colored bow tie. Del Rio performed a belly-to-back suplex and then caught Tensai with his kick in the corner. Well, I was surprised this wasn't a beat the clock challenge myself. Del Rio followed up with a second rope moonsault for the win. After the match, San Francisco Giants player Sergio Romo, not Tony Romo, Sergio Romo was shown in the crowd. Koslov said that he was there to see Del Rio, because they are both Hispanic. Del Rio addressed the new last man standing stipulation and said he would be counting in Spanish. And he counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 every day. Some of the fans joined him in counting to 10 in Spanish. And then Ricardo led C chant. So I guess that's another new finisher called the C. I don't know if you were aware of this, but Alberto Del Rio is Hispanic. Koslov and Lawler hyped that the WrestleMania Access tickets go on sale Saturday. They've been on sale. And then set up the second WWE Hall of Fame inductee announcement. Bob Backlund was introduced as the second member of the WWE Hall of Fame Classic of 2013. Then we get John Cena's music played, and it was greeted with more boos and cheers initially. Lively bunch here tonight, huh? As he said, in acknowledgement of the negative reaction. Lively because you probably had a restful weekend. I imagine, he said. He said on the seventh day that there was rest. It's always been a day for us to rest, recover, and recuperate. Cena pointed out to a young fan in the audience, in the crowd, and said Sunday is a day off from school. He joked about kids not using the phones or going outside to play, and the kid being a video game wizard who was keeping him at nub status or nub status on his Black Ops game. And he comments, "Yeah, my username is." He waited for a few seconds. Then, "Yeah, my username is." And waited for another few seconds. Skip marks 187. He said it so fast, some people couldn't even understand it. Well, Cena pointed to a female fan at ringside and speculated that she spends her Sunday uploading Facebook photos, but only to the ones she looks good in and daydreams about the guy she met the night before. He pointed out another fan in the front row and said, that was the guy that she met. And he was on the clear opposite side of the ring. She said that guy has a receipt for $168 for 2 blow-up dolls. And he said, no, 3. And John said he could only find 1. He said the fan also found out that he just favored himself on Facebook. Or Brett Favre himself on Facebook. Cena said that the point is that this Sunday is different because it's Royal Rumble Sunday. He said everyone in the WWE Universe is picking who they think will win the Rumble. Cena said that there's a golden ticket on the line and a star would be born. He said all eyes on the WWE Universe fall on the Royal Rumble. Cena said that the world will find out what he already knows this Sunday. I will win the Royal Rumble. As he yelled the declaration, he received more boos than cheers. Well, as this is your main event part of it, you get many superstars coming out, such as Sheamus. He comes out and said it was bizarre and passionate speech. He said Cena has it wrong because the guy who won it last year will be winning it this year. The primetime players and joined in the melee. No, really, I'm not joking. Randy Orton cut them off, and with his entrance, he said he didn't come out to dance or talk about deja vu, even though he could. He said that they were looking at the man who would win the Royal Rumble. And the Miz's music played. He did it really routine. He said he's going to win the Rumble. And they go on to main event WrestleMania again. Kane's music interrupts Miz's awesome line. Kane and Bryan spoke as they walked to the ring. They couldn't believe that they were arguing about who was going to win. This led to an I am battle regarding which one of them would win the Rumble. Antonio Cesaro then comes out and said he will win the Rumble and dedicated his victory to his home away from home, the United States. The 3-man bands, the music played. Really? Yeah, they said number one, the one member would win. A group of additional wrestlers then came out without entrance music, and they all brawled. They all started brawling. Ryback was actually almost those non-entrance wrestlers, and he cleared some guys from the ring. The show went off the air at this point, and everyone brawling as Michael Cole's final pitch for the Rumble. It was disappointing. I'm disappointed with the lack of the hype that they've given the Rumble match. Be careful what you wish for. This was generic and predictable hype. Hell, in retrospect, they should have closed with Punk versus Rock. I'm happy the match got some attention, but was just so generic. Cena was more concerned with being cute than selling the match. He tried to tie it together, but it just didn't work. Bobby Venomous, Jose Ortiz, and Pete Alcazar was at the Raw show and passed the following report. What happened after the melee? The mini rumble went on until Sheamus and John Cena were left. Big Show comes out and cuts a promo that was met with a bunch of what chants, similar to Stone Cold's. It ended up being a tag match. And it was John Cena and Sheamus defeating the Big Show and Wade Barrett. Good, decent action from all. Cena and Sheamus double team show. Cena got the pinfall to send the crowd home happy. And that ends my Raw and Superstars results for this week. Thanks and peace out.